United States Coast Guard Motor Machinist Mate First Class Arden Melvin Erickson's uniform. And we've got Nazi flags. Italian fascist flag captured by American troops in the Po River Valley, Italy. Campaign trunk of Brigadier General Asa N. Duncan. An 82nd Airborne Division uniform. These are things that were taken from some of our enemies during the war. A German Luftwaffe Afrika Korps uniform and hat. A Nazi police pistol from 1944. A sports armband, sorry. A Hitler Youth knife. Silver belonging to Heinrich Himmler. Silver belonging to Adolf Hitler. And a SS banner used for special functions of the corps. This banner was possibly a trumpet banner suspended from a traditional long horn. D-Day. Services in the field. They bring a little portable piano, or what would you call that? A keyboard? What would you call that back then? So they could have church services in the field.
Pump organ? I don't know what.
Bibles and hymnal books.
The Cold War. Or this one.
This is a glider passenger seat. Yes, we actually used gliders in World War II. They were made out of basically like balsa wood, and they would drop them into zones where they didn't want the enemy to hear engines, and they would glide down to the ground.
It's real thin.
Mm-hmm.
Super, it's light.
This is the seat from one of them.
It is like a wood.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Oh, I touched it. I shouldn't be touching it.
Here's a letter from Dwight D. Eisenhower. Invasion plan Operation Overlord. Paratroopers. So we're going to get to go inside of a paratrooper plane.
They had to carry all this stuff. That's their list.
4 blocks of TNT, all kinds of stuff. So they might land and blow up at the same time. Mm-hmm. This is what the inside of the paratrooper plane looked like. We're going to get to go inside of it, guys.
There's 2 cartons of cigarettes on their list.
Look at what the skies looked like when they would jump out of the plane, how many would jump at one time.
This is amazing.
Yep.
Wow. Wow, this is awesome, you guys. This is awesome. I hope you can see. Can you see?
Yeah. A little bit.
Here I turn on a light.
Storing and stand up, hook up, and then check equipment, and would check the equipment of the man in front of me and check my own equipment.
Oh my God.
Ready, jump faster, stand to the door.
Oh my God.
The idea was to get out of that plane. We would like what we call a airborne shuffle. You would use your knees to make
There you go.
Man, those were tight quarters for the pilots. Look at the windows. Hey, look out. I couldn't hardly see anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. They had the little guys as pilots. Dad was a little guy. That's why he was pilot. This is awesome, you guys. This is so cool. You guys, I think this is awesome. I love this. This is so neat. Now, so here's the door. See? You be like this and go.
Yeah, just like this guy. He's ready to go.
Oh my God. This is so cool.
It's amazing the artifacts they have here, guys. An M29 cargo carrier, also known as the Weasel. It had tracks. This is 82nd Airborne Medic Corporal Dale E. Gypsy's uniform. Here's a World War II field desk. This was a generator, is a generator that they would use to power the phones and radio. The Holocaust.
Now, I worked in North Dallas and had actually met and knew some of the customers that actually did have the numbers tattooed on their arm, and a very big Jewish community there. And some of the stories I was told are very sad and heartbreaking.
This is one of the uniforms that you would wear in a concentration camp. Auschwitz, the sleeping facilities, and the train that would bring you into Auschwitz. Concentration camp uniform bearing the brown triangle of a gypsy.
Up there.
Nazi proclamation. Star of David identity badge. Prisoner identification armband belonging to a Jewish rabbi. Prisoner identification armband displaying a red triangle of a political prisoner. Oh, I'm glad to be out of that room. Allies in France. Model 1970 Browning heavy belt fed water cooled machine gun. This helmet was worn by one of the first casualties on Omaha Beach, a U.S. infantryman from Texas. And there's some sand from Omaha. And here's a portrait of General Patton. Now we're coming into the Cold War. We're going to have to go through this pretty quick, guys, because they're closing. But they said if we go through quick, that they'll let us. Here's a bazooka. Another uniform, the Korean conflict. Janet's father fought in the Korean conflict.
Okay, look at this. That's awesome.
Yeah. Got a Bell helicopter, a Huey here. Here's the Persian Gulf War of 1991. Uniforms, desert uniforms. And the playing cards that the United States produced with faces of the enemies. The higher the card value, the more important the enemy was. Saddam. An Iraqi rocket-propelled grenade launcher. Okay, this is the Hall of Presidents. We're going to have to go through it pretty quickly, but there's a document signed by every U.S. president here. There's a document signed by George Washington, dated June 9th, 1783. And here's some strands, if you can see them right in here, of George Washington's hair. John Adams' signature.
We got a little bit of all this is so intriguing.
Yeah, Thomas Jefferson signed document. James Madison and James Monroe. John Quincy Adams. Andrew Jackson. Martin Van Buren. William Henry Harrison. John Tyler. James Knox Polk, Zachary Taylor. And next to it, each one of these has a document that's been signed by that president. Millard Fillmore, Franklin Pierce, James Buchanan,
Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln, yeah. Abraham Lincoln's photo. Andrew Johnson. Ulysses Simpson Grant. Rutherford Hayes. James Garfield. Chester Allen Arthur. Stephen Grover Cleveland. Benjamin Harrison. William McKinley. This is a patriotic shield displayed on President Taft's 1912 campaign train during his failed bid for re-election. Teddy Roosevelt.
Okay.
William Howard Taft. Woodrow Wilson. Warren Harding. Calvin Coolidge. Herbert Clark Hoover. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Here's LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson's Stetson hat. Harry Truman. Dwight David Eisenhower. John F. Kennedy.
He came into office the year I was born.
He just signed that one, Jack. LBJ. And LBJ taking the oath of office on the plane. Richard Milhouse Nixon. Gerald Ford. Jimmy Carter. Ronald Reagan. George H. Bush. Bill Clinton. George W. Bush. Barack Obama. President Donald Trump. And Joe Biden. These are campaign pins that were used by different presidents. I like Ike. Remember that? Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, John F. Kennedy, LBJ, Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, George H.W. Bush, and Bill Clinton. This is a Camp Fannin WW2, World War II prisoner of war POW jail cell from 1943 to 1945. This is the House of Representatives desk and chair. You can see some of them there in that photo down there. In fact, they've got the exact chairs circled there in the photo, on the kind of in the middle, just to the left side of the middle. Those chests, or those desks, cost $70 each. Look how decorative that is. And we got a big cannon over here. This is an original 1861 model 10-pound Parrott rifle. They call it a rifle. It's a cannon.
How big that is.
It's a big cannon, yeah. Look at the push rod.
Wow.
All right, the inside of the museum is closed now, but the outside is still open, obviously.
Look, they're saying pledge of allegiance to the flag that's right behind you. See?
You're absolutely right.
That's neat.
We got a soldier guarding the flag over here.
Wow.
And we've got some other kids over here saying the Pledge of Allegiance also. And this area here, isn't it the I believe it's Desert Storm and Afghanistan. Yeah, Afghanistan. Yep,
Wow.
Afghanistan. And these are all of the American soldiers that died in Afghanistan.
Wow. Wow. I did not realize that it was that many people.
No.
Oh my God.
Medal of Honor recipients. The timeline of the Iraq War. The Cold War, 1945 to 1991. The arms race, the space race, the Berlin Wall. We're going to go through these pretty quick because they're just a bunch of reading, guys. I mean, it's really neat, and it'd be really interesting to be able to spend some time and read it all, but we just don't have the time. Cold War timeline of key events.
What a display. As far as museums go and memorials, this is awesome.
The Berlin Airlift, 1948 and 49. The Korean conflict.
My dad was involved with that.
And her father was a B-52 pilot.
Yeah, B-29s, B-52s.
And he was a little guy.
Yeah.
And he looked just like, what's that actor? The one that was in The Fugitive and
Oh, I don't know.
the Vietnam War. Cuba. Cold War at America's Door, 1961 to 62. The Cuban Missile Crisis. The Iran Hostage Crisis, 1979 to 81. The Iran Hostage Rescue Mission. El Salvador, 1981 to 1992. The Beirut, Lebanon Marine Barracks bombing, 1983. The invasion of Grenada, Operation Urgent Fury, October 25th to November 2nd, 1983. Operation El Dorado Canyon, April 15th and 16th of 1986.
Gaddafi.
There's Benghazi. The USS Stark Incident, 1987. Invasion of Panama, Operation Just Cause, December 20th, 1989 to January 30th, 1990. January 3rd, sorry. Persian Gulf War, 1990 and 91.
Other people.
And these are the servicemen that lost their lives. Yes, servicemen and women. What would you call a servicewoman? A serviceman also, or servicewoman?
Service persons. I don't know what's correct. Servicemen.
It's the World Trade Center bombing, February 26, 1993. And Somalia, 1992 to 95. The Kabar Towers bombing, June 25th, 1996. The USS Cole bombing, October 12th, 2000. And 9/11. This is the timeline of 9/11. This is American Airlines Flight 11 timeline. United Airlines Flight 175 timeline. American Airlines Flight 77 timeline and casualties. They have the casualties at the bottom of each one of these. United Airlines Flight 93 timeline. And here's a list of all the people that perished in the towers. Such a dark day. Wow. So what do you think of the museum, Jan?
One of the best.
Yeah.
One of the best.
Yeah.
I mean, very detailed. Come early enough to see everything and read up on your history. And this is amazing. I thought it's, as far as
The artifacts.
the artifacts, the information, I think this is probably, as far as, this is the best.
Yeah.
As far as, you know, as far as history with the military, the wars and the presidents, and I mean,
Well, you always hear also that how we fought for our freedom over the last 250 years, but it doesn't sink in until you come somewhere like this where you see all of the mementos from different wars
Yeah.
and see there was wars that I didn't even know we fought that
right. And
that was
the
inside.
different battles. You hear Gettysburg,
Yeah.
Vietnam, and you know World War I and II, but you don't hear so much about the Korean War or the different battles and stuff. So this is awesome.
it is. All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day.
Strange RV tours will take you places with Greg and Janet's smiling faces. You might see a crazy flavored soda review or some tips to fit your RV too. So come along, won't you join us, friend, as we discover what's around the bend. Just sit right back in your easy chair. Strange RV Tours is on the air. Strange RV Tours is on